So this is my chapter summary for chapter 7. So for my chapter summary, I wanted to pull out key concepts of the chapter. So the key concepts that I pulled out were the components of human resource management, intentional discrimination and unintentional discrimination, managing a diverse workforce, the recruitment and selection, the training and development, the performance appraisal and feedback, employee engagement, and harassment in the workplace. So for the first one, the unintentional and intentional discrimination. So intentional discrimination is something like race, religion, age, and sex. And unintentional discrimination is unfair practices or acts that are specifically towards a certain group of people. I thought this was interesting because I never really realized that there was a difference. I knew that they were both discrimination, but I didn't know that there was actually a word for both. So I thought that was really cool. So there is things that help situations like this, like the Employment Act and the Canadian Human Rights Act. So they just put things in place so that you can kind of prevent things like this to happen in the workforce. Managing a diverse workforce. So a lot of times when you are a HR manager, you have to deal with a lot of different people. They could be all different age, gender, race, religion, everything. So, and in here it said that age diversity presents managers with a big challenge because older people might not want to work as much as younger people, and younger people might not want to work as much as older people. So there are 3 things I pulled out for this. So effectively managing diversity. So this can improve the organization's effectiveness. Embracing diversity. So this is when you should there is going to be different people of all kinds. So you need to embrace what every different person has to offer and all their different ideas. And that will also really help your company grow. And third, everyone receives equal opportunity. So if there is an opportunity to be given, it should be presented to everyone the exact same way, no matter how old you are, your race, your religion, etc. So for the recruitment and selection process, so for these ones, it's all how you pick the employee for the job. So the recruitment process includes the activities that the managers use to develop a pool of qualified candidates for the open position. And the selection process is which managers determine the relative qualifications of job applicants for the job. So in the recruitment process, they'll put posters up saying that there's a job posting and people will apply. And the selection process can be pretty much anything. So they select the people who they want, and then they can do interviews, they can do tests over the phone, anything like that, just to pick which employee they think will suit best for the job. For the training and development, so training focuses mainly on teaching members how to do the job that they have now received, and the development focuses on building the knowledge and skills of the organizational member. So the training is more hands-on, and the development is more in your head and the skills you'll need. For the performance appraisal and feedback, so performance appraisal is just the evaluation of the employee and so how good they're doing at a certain job. And the performance feedback is the process through which managers share the performance appraisal with the employee. So after, they'll check up on the employee, see how they're doing and what they're contributing to the company. They'll maybe make a little meeting with them to explain what they did right, what they're doing wrong, and where they can improve. And I think this is really important because no employee is perfect, and everyone needs to know what their strong points are and what their weak points are so that they can improve in the future. Employee engagement involves the activities that managers engage in to ensure that fair and consistent treatment for all employees. So there's things like the employee assistance program, which pretty much is there for the employees, or if you have a union or something, it's there to protect the employees and so they know that they have something to go for if something isn't right at the workplace or something's happening. And the last key point that I pulled out from this chapter, and I think it's a really important one, it's harassment in the workforce. And sometimes I don't think people think about this, but it happens probably a lot more often than we think. So the Canadian Human Rights Act is something that can help prevent discrimination and harassment, but it doesn't mean that it never happens, and it probably always will. So quid pro quo sexual harassment, so there's two different kinds. So the first one is that, and it's when the harassment forces the employee to engage in sexual activity, so it's more forceful. They pretty much just do whatever they want. And then there's hostile work sexual harassment, so this is more subtle, not as forceful, and this can happen a lot if people are just saying little comments here and there. So yeah. And I thought this was really interesting too, because again, I didn't know that there was a difference in between. I knew it was maybe sexual harassment or things like that, but I didn't know that there was a difference. So I really thought this part was interesting too. And that's the end for my chapter summary.